everyone, this is James at Innotech Tech Talk. I'm here today to review the Acer Iconia W700. Let's go ahead and get started with the review. First of all, I'd like to point out that this is my own computer. It's not something that Acer has sent to me for a review, so you're not going to have to worry about any embellishing on my part. So let's start with the system specs. This particular model came with the Intel Core i5-3317U processor. The U on the end means ultra-low voltage, so you can expect that it's going to have better heat dissipation and longer battery life than other Core i5s in the Intel lineup. The system came with 4 gigs of DDR3 1333 MHz of onboard RAM. When I say onboard, I just mean that it's actually built into the motherboard itself, so don't expect that you're going to get this machine and then later on go ahead and upgrade it to like an 8 gig chip of RAM. You're pretty much stuck with the 4 gigs of RAM. The wireless card is a Qualcomm Atheros 802.11 ABG&N, and it's dual band. So therefore, if you have a compatible router, you can connect to the 2.4 or 5 GHz bands. It also has Bluetooth built into it. So if you have Bluetooth mice or keyboards that you want to connect, this will allow you to do so. The display on this machine is a active matrix TFT display. It's 1920 by 1080p, and it's a 16.9 aspect ratio, and it's what Acer calls the Sign Crystal display. It's a brand name by Acer. This is different than the Crystal Bright display that they used to use, in that it uses an LED backlight instead of a CCFL. So there are some advantages to that. The LEDs, they virtually, right after startup, they're at 100% brightness level, whereas the CCFLs, they take a little bit longer to warm up and get to the full brightness. The other advantage of LED light backlighting is that it's less power hungry, typically a little bit longer life than the CCFLs as well. Now, I have read a few reviews of people saying that this display is coated in Gorilla Glass. I haven't been able to confirm that at all. So, like if you go on Acer's website and you look at other computers that they build with Gorilla Glass, like the Aspire S7, they actually claim right there on their website that they're using Gorilla Glass. However, they don't do that with the W700. Also, if you go on Gorilla Glass's website and look at devices by manufacturer that are using Gorilla Glass, the W700 isn't listed. So the verdict's still out on that for me. I can't confirm to you whether or not it is using Gorilla Glass. But I can confirm to you that it is an IPS display, so you're going to get 178 degrees of viewing angle. This is really nice, especially if you're using it, like say on an airplane. You're sitting next to someone sharing the display. You don't have to worry about their view being washed out. The display, being 1920 by 1080p, it's very crisp, very clean. It's a gorgeous display. I can't tell you how much I like this. As far as battery's concerned, it comes installed with a 3-cell lithium polymer battery. Now, Acer claims that this battery gets 9 hours of life. That might be under optimal lab conditions. This is not what I'm experiencing. I'm experiencing anywhere from 6.5 to about 7.5 hours of battery. This is at about 50% brightness, and it's not heavy use. I mean, I'm typically using this in class, typing notes, not full on watching video or surfing the entire time. So it's every once in a while it's turned off for power saving features, and I can actually get through a full 8-hour class with it. The physical dimensions are about half an inch thick, 11.6 inches wide, and 7.5 inches tall. It weighs 2.1 pounds, so it is a little bit heavier than something like the iPad, but then again, you're getting a lot more powerful machine. It does come with 2 cameras. One's front-facing, one's rear-facing. The rear-facing camera, so if you're holding the tablet up like this, the rear-facing will be pointing away from you, and it's, you'd be taking pictures of people with it or video. I believe it's 5 megapixel. Acer doesn't specify this on their website. It's okay. It's not the greatest. I wouldn't, consider this a replacement of a camera by any means, but if you're just sitting around the living room, or you want to take a quick picture of something and you have adequate lighting, it's going to take a decent picture. Same thing goes for the front-facing camera. So like if you're wanting to do like a webinar or a Skype call, it does pretty good. You just want to make sure that you have adequate lighting in the room. The microphones are actually pretty good as well too. I've done several Skype calls on it, and I haven't received any complaints on the other side that they couldn't hear me. So let's go ahead and look at what ports are included on this. So I'm going to do my best to show you here. So right here, this is a dual microphone headphone port. Right here is your volume up and down rocker. Then we got your power button. If you look here on the bottom side, you got these little speaker holes here, and that's all they are. If you open this machine up, that's where the speakers sit. On the other side, we got one USB 3.0. We got a micro HDMI, and this is the power jack right here. And then on the top, these are just ventilation ports. So there's like a little fan in here that keeps the machine cool. Let's go over build quality. I have to be honest, in the past, I haven't been very impressed with Acer's build quality throughout the years. But keep in mind, I've been working in the computer industry for 6+ years, so I've experienced a lot of different machines. They did a really good job on this. I mean, it's solid aluminum build. There's no flex in it whatsoever. It feels like a premium product, and I'm probably one of the pickiest people when it comes to build quality. One of my biggest gripes about PCs is that they lag behind in quality when compared to Apple products, and I'm not an Apple person. All of my educational background is in Windows and Microsoft products, so I'm always using PCs. But I do have to applaud Apple for their build quality. And I do have to applaud Acer on the build quality of this machine. If you guys get this, you're going to be happy with it. You'll notice here that there's a little white plastic strip across the back. Now, you might think to yourself, well, why would they use a plastic strip? That kind of cheapens it. Well, it's two reasons. When you look behind that plastic strip, when you take this apart, that's where your wireless antennas are. And there's been problems in the past with other products, like for example, Asus's transformer had a lot of issues with wireless connectivity because that solid aluminum body interfered with the signal. So I'm assuming that they put this here for one to help with signal, and for two it makes it so if a repair is needed you can get into it easier. So when you peel back this strip, and if you're going to do this, start on the side where the camera is, and start like right on the edge, and use like a thin like razor blade and start pulling up on it, and then slowly pull up because it is attached with a double-sided tape underneath. So you want to do it slowly so you don't put a crimp or a crease in the plastic itself. So when you pull this off, there's two screws. There's like one on this end and one on this end, and you just unscrew those, and then you take a suction cup and stick it right to the screen, pull it out, again slowly, carefully, because there's little ribbon cables attached everywhere, and that will allow you to get access to the inside, but that's a different video. So yes, build quality is very, very good on this machine. I did forget to mention right here on the front, there's a Windows button, so this will take you back to the Metro UI or whatever they're calling it now. Modern UI is, I think, the other name they call it. So yeah, build quality, system specs, I think, are right in line with what this machine should be at. So let's go into peripherals a little bit, because I'm really big into peripherals. I don't even buy a device unless I know there's good peripherals that can go with it. So let's start with the docking station right here. Now, Acer's website is a little bit deceiving when it comes to this dock. They tell you that you have access to 4 USB 3.0s with this dock. So 3 on the dock and 1 on the system. What they don't tell you is that the USB 3.0 port on the system is taken up when you plug it into the dock. So actually you only have 3 USB 3.0 ports at any given time, unless you buy like a third-party port replicator or something like that. The dock itself, either way, I can't really say that I'm impressed, but I can't say that I'm disappointed either. It's made of plastic. It's not metal like the tablet itself. I do have a few gripes about it. It comes like with this little stand that inserts in the back here, and I've noticed that the stand actually slips out quite easily. So like if I have it sitting on my desk and I put a little downward force on it, it will like push this out. So what I did was I inserted it, and I took a little piece of paper and folded it up and wedged it in there, and now it's in there nice and tight. So the other gripe I have about the stand is that the USB 3.0 ports in it, they don't work unless you have the power cord plugged into it. So I'm not quite sure why that's necessary. I think that they could have powered it off the system itself if they needed to. So these aren't huge concerns of mine. They're just little flaws that I can see. Because when I use this, it's primarily at my desk. I don't take this with me anywhere. It's too big and clunky, and that kind of defeats the purpose of using a tablet. So let's go ahead and talk about it. They include a keyboard with it as well. And so here's the keyboard, and it's plastic. So it's a USB 3.0 port. It is a Bluetooth connection, not USB 3.0. So you don't have to worry about using any dongles. It's pretty nice. I mean, it's solid. It's actually, I think it's rebranded Logitech keyboard. This looks identical to a keyboard Logitech has on their website. I can't remember the model number of it off the top of my head, but it's a nice keyboard. It's solid, and if you don't care about having backlighting on your keyboard, then you really don't need more than this. It's small, lightweight. The battery seems to last quite a long time. It easily connects to the computer. So really cool that Acer included something like this. Not a lot of manufacturers are doing that these days. Microsoft. Here's another accessory they include. It's like a portfolio case. It's really good quality. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's brown. I'm more of a black person myself, so I would have preferred that they made this in black leather, but it is brown leather, constructed very well. I'm really impressed with it. The way that it attaches is it has these little knobs on the corner here that kind of cradle it in there, so you don't have to worry. It's not going to interfere with any of the side swiping on your display that is supported by Windows 8. So that's really nice. So like when I go to class, this is what I carry it in, and I'll just kind of show you how it works here. So you place the tablet. Well, actually, you're supposed to start here at the bottom, and then pull the top corners up onto it, like so. And what's nice about it is I can take it to class, and it acts as a stand as well. So I'll adjust my camera here so you can see that. So here it is. It just kind of sits up like that, and it's really convenient. I don't have to carry around anything else with me. It acts as a stand. It acts as a protective case. I really like that. They did throw in a nice little microfiber cloth to wipe the screen down with as well. So good job again, Acer, on that one. So let me put this aside here, and let's kind of look at the power cord, because It would be kind of awkward if they were to include a power cord that wasn't like proportionate to the tablet. So, and they didn't do that, but I just want to cover it so you guys can see. Pretty small. You know, it comes with a little well, it has a little Velcro strap attached, so you can, you know, cable manage a little bit better when you're carrying it around in your bag. So it's really nice. This is the same cord that you plug into the actual desktop cradle itself. I call it desktop cradle because that's what I use it for. So those are the accessories that it comes with. I happen to really like backlit keyboards, and so what I've done is, and I'm not going to really go into a review on this. This is the Logitech Bluetooth, I believe it's the 810K keyboard. That's the model number. This thing is really nice. It's backlit and it has a proximity sensor. So when you're away from it, like your hands aren't sitting right next to it, it automatically turns off the backlighting, which saves, you know, on battery consumption. And you know, once you are ready to type, if you're sitting in low light situations, it'll light right up for you. It's really nice. The feedback on the keys, great. I love Logitech peripheral devices. Now if I can get them to make a Bluetooth mouse that's up to par with some of their mice that use the little unifying dongle, that I would be so happy. So that actually brings me to my next device here. So Bluetooth mouse. It's the ThinkPad Bluetooth mouse. It's nothing special. It's quite small. I just like it because when I'm sitting in class and I don't want to be using up my one USB 3.0 port that I have with a dongle. So I like using Bluetooth for when I'm on the road or in class or something like that. As far as the mouse that I use, like here on my desktop, so since I'm plugged into the plastic dock that they give you, and I have those extra USB ports, I'm using the again, Logitech. Sorry if any of you aren't Logitech fans, but I am. This is the MX, I think it's like the Go Anywhere mouse or something like that. This is my favorite mouse. This thing is, I mean, it's small, it's lightweight, it gets really long battery life. Just on regular AA batteries, it gets probably anywhere from a month to 3 months of use, depending on how much you're using it. And then it has the dark field technology on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe not, but so if you're one of those people, like I have in my dining room, one of the glass top tables, and this actually works on glass, so it's really cool in those regards. It's got like little Teflon feet on the bottom. It's just a really smooth, nice ergonomic feel to it. I won't go on any more about it, but it's a good mouse. If anyone's looking for a mouse and you don't mind using a dongle, this is the mouse to get. And then for my desktop, I'm using the Logitech K800 backlit wireless keyboard. When I was talking about that little, well, let me show you. Let's see. So this is the little micro receiver, and the nice thing about it is you can actually connect more than one device to it. So I can connect both my Logitech mouse and this keyboard with this one dongle. So that leaves me 2 free USB 3.0 ports in my desktop dock. Not going to get into a full review of the keyboard, but it is nice. If you guys are looking to get a desktop keyboard for this computer, this is a good option. Again, here's another, I'm really big into protecting my devices because I'll either use them for a long time or I'll use them until I want to upgrade, and I'll resell my device. So when I go to resell, I want it to be in like perfect condition. I mean, I keep all the boxes and packaging the way it originally came, so that way when I sell it to my my customer, they're getting kind of the same experience that I got when I opened it up brand new, but they're getting it at less of a price. So I got the a Skinomi, I think is how you pronounce it. It's a screen protector for the W700, and it is really good quality. I have previously not had any experience with Skinomi. I've always used like Zag Invisible Shield, but this is of the same quality, if not better than the Zag Invisible Shield. And one of the things that I don't like about Zag is they don't keep up on products fast enough, so they still didn't have a screen protector for the W700 on their website when I went to look for it. So thankfully Skinomi was there to meet my needs with this screen protector. Thanks, Skinomi. So I think that about wraps it up. If I get a lot of response from people wanting to know, like, how did I upgrade the hard drive, or like have any other questions, I'll respond to it. I don't necessarily want to take this thing apart again because it is kind of a pain in the butt. And I have lots of experience working on small, portable devices like laptops and other tablets, but it was a pain getting everything put back together. So I don't really want to take it back apart for you. There's already a how-to video on YouTube on how to install aftermarket drive in this, so you can get more storage. So if you're wanting to do it, I advise you go see that video. The other thing I'd advise is take your time, especially if you're a newbie. Make mental notes or even take pictures of where things belong before you unhook them, and that way you can play it back later and see how to put it back together. But just do it slow, do it carefully. If it's your first time, if you're more familiar with it, still be careful, because like I said, when you go to take off that screen, there are some ribbon cables attached that you don't want to be yanking on and pulling out. But that's about it. I hope you guys like my first video. I know it's not quite to the quality of what you would expect from like Linus Tech Tips or Mobile Tech Review, who I'm a big fan of, by the way. But I'm working on it. If I find that I'm getting a lot of followers and people watching my videos, I'll try to invest some money in some better production equipment, like a better camera and maybe a better back setting than my desk that is in a playroom that my son uses. So with that being said, you guys have a great day. I really hope you like my video, and please subscribe. Thanks.